I'd say it's totally changed the way I think about government, and it's totally changed the way I talk about government when I organize already committed local community activists.
I think we just had a lot more wisdom than we did the last time the state was in this kind of a situation about how to talk about what the impacts of this were going to be, and why we should be thinking of sort of a collective public solution as what's going to be important to growing our economy and stabilizing it, would be good for the middle class. And we had a pretty effective budget campaign. We managed to raise a substantial amount of revenues, which kept the doors of the community college open. It kept working families able to enroll their children in our children's health insurance program. It was a great success.
I can't point yet to concrete policy changes on the ground, but what I can point to is a more effective dialogue with what we call the movable middle, with people who are open to thinking about public problems and don't come from a hard frame. It has given us a way to talk with that group, the movable middle, the persuadables, that our experience is it's more effective.
So I think I recognized a good idea when I heard it from Demos, that, this is a really good way to start and to change the frame and get people to take 1 or 2 or 3 steps back from their busy daily lives and to sort of think about a bigger viewpoint. The good idea was public structures. The good idea was changing the frame that how people organize information. The trial and error period of talking about a public policy issue and talking to a broader group, a broader cross-section of the community than I'd been talking to certainly was helped by these ideas. And I think I said earlier that it enabled me to, I've never turned the channel to look for a better idea, that it's just been about fine-tuning this idea. So I think it's been very valuable and very durable. And
it's what we do, it's what we're about. It's just that this is a new tool for us, and a tool that we think is going to be more effective than what we've used in the past. But I think it's the simplicity of the language. You don't have to do a lot of thinking. It's more recognizing the stories, and having that, kind of moment that makes sense. It makes real sense,
It's really important to have lots of people being able to speak intelligently and effectively about public systems and public structures in ways that open the conversation, that create room for people on all sides of the aisle, all sides of an issue, to come together in some pragmatic, practical place where we can solve problems. Because that's what people really want us to do, is solve problems.
Both the people who would self-identify as conservatives and people who would self-identify as progressives, oftentimes they get caught in the trap of leaping to reforms and debating reforms. And when you start the conversation about what kind of Colorado do we want, what are the public structures that we need to have the kind of state that we want, it's a way for folks to find common ground that before they get to the reforms. And so it helps folks find a common North Star, if you will, before they start debating solutions.
Because we had been working on all of this work, we were able to influence the process around our ballot measure and make it very thoughtful about how the campaign work might influence our long-term goals around raising revenue and doing some structural things around our state budget. So I think the campaign to defeat Tabor was much more intentional than past campaign efforts.
Our experience has been, it puts them in a different place. So first thing you do is you don't get flustered when someone says, well, you just want to raise my taxes. Because you know how to pivot that discussion. You know that that's not the conversation you're trying to have. And you understand that to engage that conversation at that level is putting yourself in a frame where you don't want to be.
You say like public structures, and you say this is how you can talk about what you do, is the public structure that we built here in this town. So when you turn on the water comes out and it's clean, and people say, gosh, I never thought about it that way. Or you talk about the public structures that educate our children, that keep our parks and recreations open and the lawns mowed. They say, you're right. They're almost excited to have this, it's not just words, a pathway to think about government and how they participate in it and how they can have other people join them because they're part of something that's bigger than themselves.